Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Jim Cermak. I'm the product training manager from Driverge Vehicle Innovations, and welcome to our DBE Disadvantaged Business Enterprise presentation. We welcome all DBE certified, minority owned, and women owned businesses, especially suppliers and vendors, and any other businesses that are joining us today to learn a little bit more about who Driverge is and what we have to offer. Uh, this presentation is done to highlight opportunities across many categories of the products that we include in the manufacture of the vehicles that we build and upfit. And we're going to be discussing the industries served, the vehicles that we build on, and the upfits that we manufacture. And then we'll end it with the various DB categories that we represent that will really highlight the opportunities that are available for vendors and suppliers today. And then the last thing will be the who to contact, which is going to be important for you all. Who to contact when you want to look into becoming a supplier or vendor for Driverge Vehicle Innovations. So without further ado, let's start on the presentation here today. So let's tell you a little first about Driverge. Who are we? Driverge, our tagline is ideas made to move, and specifically in this category, made to move business. So we're the country's leading builder of commercial shuttles, wheelchair vans, transporters, equipment haulers, and small buses. We have manufacturing plants across the U.S. and Canada, with more than 140,000 square feet of production space. We are very proud to be affiliated with and partners with the uh, major vehicle OEMs. So we are a Ford Pro builder, and all these programs I'm about to mention are certification programs. So we are highly audited and regulated by these manufacturers, and to meet their strict standards to be able to build on their vehicles. So we are proud members of the Ford Pro program. We're a Mercedes-Benz expert upfitter, or the gold status, and we are a Ram Commercial Q Pro supplier for both Ram and Chrysler, so part of the Stellantis team. We were also MVP members for several years with the NTEA, the National Truck Equipment Association, and then also proud to be MQAP manufacturer members with NAMEDA, the National Mobility Equipment Dealers Association. So manufacturing both commercial vehicles as well as consumer accessible vehicles, wheelchair accessible vehicles. So we have vehicle solutions throughout a variety of industries. I'll first touch on the ones that we cover for on our vocational side. So this is the non-wheelchair side, non-passenger side. For medical device transport, cannabis transportation, for general contractors, plumbing, electrical contractors, HVAC, hospitality and resorts, limousine, livery, and black car, all those luxury vehicles, catering and food delivery, mobility cleaning equipment, equipment delivery of all sorts, and law enforcement and prisoner transport. On the passenger side, we provide conversions for healthcare companies, non-emergency transport, fleet management companies, government agencies, hotels and resorts, taxi and rideshare, as well as wheelchair transportation services, and any business that transports people in wheelchairs as part of their business. So a huge variety of industries that we are proud to serve. We have over 20 years of commercial vehicle leadership. We have a huge staff of engineers on site here that build not only to meet all of the ADA and NHTSA. NHTSA is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. all of the federal laws and requirements for the safety of vehicles, because we're taking vehicles that are already built by the OEMs and then we are converting them, but we have to make sure that they stay within all the acceptable national federal guidelines. So we are very proud to be able to do that. We put a lot of work and effort into that. We've been Ford's #1 mobility builder for 23 years in a row and counting. So very, very proud of that, which means there's more mobility vans, so wheelchair accessible vehicles built on Ford chassis by us than anybody else in the nation. So very proud of that status. As mentioned earlier, we're a certified builder with Ford, Stellantis, which includes Ram and Chrysler, as well as Mercedes. And we have that team of dedicated engineers, designers, and product development people to create. We do a lot of custom vehicle solutions. So if a company comes to us and they say that they're looking for something they haven't found before, we will work with them to design that custom solution for them. Even if we've never built it before, we have the technology available, and we have the engineering expertise to be able to do that and source the right products from good suppliers and vendors to be able to create those solutions. This is something we do all the time. We do all the time, and we're very proud to be that custom solution provider for a lot of the companies in the industries that we mentioned earlier. So some of the benefits of working with Driverge, both from a supplier standpoint as well as a customer standpoint. Why do companies come to us to buy their vehicles? First of all, improved safety. Like I said, we engineer these things to meet every requirement and beyond. And we do it in a way that is both safe for the equipment they haul, the passengers they haul, as well as the drivers of these vehicles to make sure they are as safe as possible. Increase productivity for your staff, for the staff of the contractors, especially in the vocational side, to make sure that they can get to the tools and supplies that they need in the back of their vehicles, as well as on the accessibility side to make it as easy as possible and as safe as possible to get their passengers on and off the vehicle, as well as get them secured as safely as possible. To help with that increased safety and productivity, we also provide professional training, which we'll talk a little bit about later. We are fleet experts. We have many people that have expertise and experience within the fleet industry, so they know the technology, they know the terminology, they know the ins and outs of how to build a successful fleet program and how to make sure that we get the right vehicles and the right upfits into those fleets so that they could serve their customers best as possible. Plus, we have the bandwidth, we have the manufacturing capacity to be able to meet requirements and meet the demands and quantities of just about any order. We have an in-house parts department that is they have access to thousands of parts and accessories for all makes and models and upfits and different manufacturers. So it's a great resource for our customers that they come to one place and get just about anything that they need quickly and easily. And lastly, when those vehicles need some repair, we've got a national service network with certified technicians and locations across the U.S. to make sure that those vehicles don't come out of service. Because we understand that when they're out of service, that's costing money. That's costing time is money. We need those vans and trucks on the road as much as possible. So when they go down, you need to make sure you get those vehicles back on the road as quickly as possible, and you'll see a map on the screen there, and all those dots are different sales as well as service locations, and our manufacturing locations are in the dark blue there. So proud of our capacity, our service network across the nation. So let's talk about some of the vehicles that we upfit on today, starting with our vocational vehicles. Start with the full-size Ford Transit, which is that one on the upper right picture there. That's probably one that we build on more than any. But we have also been building on increasing number of pickup trucks, specifically the Ford F-250 Super Duty and the Ford Maverick, which is a little bit smaller, medium-sized pickup, and a lot of upfit options for the vocational side that can utilize those wonderful platforms. On the Ram side, Stellantis side, the Ram ProMaster full-size van can do a lot of the same things. You see that bottom right picture there that has shelves in it, racks, a lot of drawers and systems in there for a variety of industries. And then the Chrysler Pacifica minivan that we're getting increasing number of requests for that smaller van for more needs, getting it in and out of parking garages, things like that, depending on the needs of the company. We're happy to now have some vocational options for that versatile vehicle. On the passenger transport side, uh, on the full-size van side, we have the Ford Transit, the Ram ProMaster, and also the Mercedes Sprinter. We do a lot of both transport shuttles, luxury shuttles, as well as wheelchair accessible. And on the minivan side, the Chrysler Pacifica and the Dodge Grand Caravan, which isn't in production anymore from a new standpoint, but there's still a lot of used chassis available, and we can still build on those depending on what the needs are. All right, now we're going to move into some specific vocational vehicle solutions so you can get a better idea of what we do and where your company could fit in as a supplier. So the first thing we do a lot of shelving, racks, and bins. We work closely with a lot of the names you know in this industry: Adrian Steel, Ranger Design, Tommy Gate, and WeatherGuard are companies we work very closely with to provide those solutions. We do some custom solutions and then a lot of solutions because they have such a wide variety of products and products available that we can work with them and work with you and our engineering team to develop the system that's going to work best for you. Both those shelving units as well as some partitions to make sure that the driver stays safe if there's any issues with products flying around in the back, that the drivers are going to stay safe. So we have do a lot of work with the general contractors, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, that heating, ventilation, AC companies as well. A lot of company or a lot of vehicles that we're building in this with this kind of configurations. Looking at the next thing, it would be some partitions. There's a picture on the right of the partition I just described. So that could be put in a lot of our vocational vehicles, depending on what the needs are. Some doors and different kind of partitions that are available, as well as ladder racks for the contractors that have that need from companies like WeatherGuard, Ranger Design, in a variety of top and ones that are will come down onto the side of the vehicle as well. A lot of different options there. We do sliding cargo trays, as you saw earlier in the back of the Chrysler Pacifica. This is in the back of one of the Ford pickups, and that's a great solution for a lot of industries. And then we also provide in-floor storage in some of our larger the full-size vehicles, as well as I believe some of the pickups we could do some of this as well. So that protected storage area for certain smaller items. The On the vocational pickups, some of the products that we include are truck racks, fuel and transfer tanks, and then those tool and truck boxes, which a lot of the contractors rely on. We have a lot of other options as well. So that would be something that we just, if you are a user, this is where you want to meet with your Driverge rep to figure out what is going to be the best product to meet your needs. Now we move on to our passenger vehicle solutions. So the passenger vehicle solutions could be both ambulatory or walk-on passengers, as well as the core of our business, which is the wheelchair transport. So for wheelchair accessible full-size vans, like I mentioned earlier, we have the Ford Transit, the Ram ProMaster, and Mercedes Sprinter. We could do power lifts on either the side or the rear. On the Ram ProMaster, we can put a rear ramp. As you see in that bottom right picture, there's a heavy duty ramp that comes out the back that could be used for not only a passenger transport, but could be used for equipment hauling to be able to push wheeled equipment or using dollies going up and down that ramp for larger equipment, things like that. But as we're talking about wheelchair accessibility, it's also a great option for a company that just would rather use a ramp than a power lift. And in the back of that, we have a lowering system in the back of the ProMaster that we could do to bring that down so it meets the ADA, or the Americans with Disabilities Act, guidelines for the ramp angle. We could do standard floor, or when you're talking about seating systems, standard floor fixed seating, so that those seats are installed exactly where the customer needs and they do not move. Or we have our innovative smart floor system, which means adjustable seating. Those seats, where we will place them where you want them, but then you can move them around into various positions or take the seats off of the vehicle depending on what your needs are to increase the number of wheelchair positions, or maybe you need a little extra room for cargo or things like that. And all of our wheelchair accessible vans are fully ADA compliant, which means they meet every ADA specification that is in place. For our minivans, wheelchair accessible minivans, we have ones now on the commercial side. These are typically a rear access. So you see that ramp coming out the back of the vehicle. We could do a full cut. What we call a full cut, that means it will hold two wheelchairs. So one wheelchair goes in first and the second wheelchair behind it. And that first wheelchair goes all the way up to right behind that driver and front passenger. So if you look at the little layouts on the screen, the second from the left, where you see two people in that front passenger and driver position, and then two wheelchairs behind that. So that is what is known as a full cut or two wheelchair position vehicle. Or we do a shortcut, which means the second row bench seat is still intact and still there for walk-on passengers, and then one wheelchair position goes up behind. We can do multiple seating configurations from two walk-ons to six walk-on passengers, uh, and then multiple wheelchairs, one or two wheelchairs. We have a flex flat ramp system, which means that ramp can not just stand up in the back, but it can fold flat so that it can be used for cargo, for groceries, or anything that the people need to put in back without having to bring the ramp out of the vehicle. It's a great flexibility feature. All of our accessible vehicles, as I mentioned earlier, are fully ADA compliant. And we also do offer cot mount or stretcher mounts within not only the minivans, but we could do that also in our full-size vans as well. So for those companies that do offer stretcher service, non-emergency stretcher service, that is available. None of these vehicles are intended for emergency use. These are non-emergency vehicles. Another thing we do for our passenger vehicles, we've got a lot of call for this over the years, is bus door entry. So this is a great option for those businesses that want to have their passengers go just walk up steps right into the vehicle without having to have someone open up the slider door. Is a standard entryway that everyone is familiar with. We have a couple of different sizes available and configurations based on what the company's needs are. We have remote control access of this so that the driver can open it right from there, whether they're in the driver's seat or they're outside the vehicle as well. They can open and close that door, which is really, really nice. And we also offer this for, it could be a wheelchair van where a lift comes out the back, or it could just be a standard walk-on ambulatory van. We offer crew vans. So this kind of blends the lines between vocational van and a passenger van because it is meant for to have a cargo space in the back. So we have some catering companies that we've built these for, and companies in other variety of industries. So behind that partition, what we have is a front driver and passenger seat, standard, those two seats up front, and then three seats behind there. So if you have a small crew, so for like a catering company, they're going to work an event, in the back can be all of their totes and their storage, all their dishes, flatware, everything that they need to host that event, and then they can bring their crew as well. So you can bring up to 5 people. The inside meets all the head impact requirements from FMVSS 201U, metal partitions, and then you could do a smart floor so those seats can be removed, or a standard floor so those seats are fixed. And we could also do smart floor in the back so you can offer, as you see in that bottom picture, you could use restraints to hold the cargo in place all the way in the back, or it could just be a flat floor with no track system in there. So that's it for crew vans. We do a lot of hospitality shuttles for the hotel and resort industry, where we could put on specialty signage with or without LED graphics. We can add in luggage compartments behind the back row of seats that has access in the back doors. Multiple seating layouts can make this also wheelchair accessible for those needs as well. So seating of up to 15, including the driver, that's obviously all going to be walk-on ambulatory passengers. And then a variety of applications if they are in need of this kind of vehicle, but also need that wheelchair accessibility. We offer corporate and luxury shuttles, so a little bit higher end experience for the passenger. And this where we can do things like special, little more plush seating, leathermate seats, some wood grain flooring to make that floor that nice impression. And we do call these the impression series. We have reading lights, we have floor lighting. We could do TV monitors, coolers, Wi-Fi on board, a lot of different options, a lot of different tech options, and USB plug-in ports throughout the vehicle. Anything that is in the desire of the of the customer, we can work with them to see what we can do to make that happen. And then obviously we can offer luggage compartments in the back to do luggage, golf clubs, skis, anything like that, depending on where that resort or that hotel is located and what their needs are. Do a lot of prisoner transport, border patrol, uh, law enforcement vehicles. We could do directly on the chassis or as an insert. A lot of options available for different compartments. We have optional two-door entry system, which gives that extra layer of security. So when you open up that first sliding door, there's still another locked door to go through, so that adds that extra security. Add thicker gauge reinforced steel, and depending on what kind of configurations you need, want to separate two different groups of people, men from women, or if you can make this juveniles from adults. There's all sorts of configurations available to meet the needs of the organization. We have a lot of different tech features. I mentioned some of those a little bit earlier. These are available on most vehicle platforms, depending on what the needs and desires are of the customer. So things like we mentioned USB ports, we could add Wi-Fi on board, monitors, DVD players, interior security cameras, and DVR systems. That is especially very popular, especially in the passenger world, where incidents can happen on board, especially with the wheelchair passengers or accessibility vehicles. We do specialty interior lightings both overhead and at the baseboard level, and we can add in things like electric food and beverage coolers, so that if you want to offer cold water or beverages to your passengers, that's something else that we can add in there. So a lot of different features available. I mentioned early on, we also, to make sure that our wheelchair passengers, our vans are being used as they're supposed to be, we do offer professional wheelchair driver training. There's a program called PASS training, which stands for Passenger Assistance, Safety, and Sensitivity. It's a gold standard across the country, and that's a program from the CTAA, the Community Transportation Association of America, that's available. The certification meets all the requirements for Medicare, Medicaid payments for companies that are dealing with brokers. This is the program that they're looking for. We're also, our trainers are Q-Straight and AMF Bruin certified, so those different wheelchair securement devices and systems are we have full knowledge and can train on those. And we train on both full size minivans, cutaways, buses, whatever the company has that they are running, we can train on those. Now we'll end up here with our DBE categories that we cover and have opportunities for. I'm just going to read through this. I'm sorry, this will take just a second, but I'll read the category number and then the description of the category, and then we'll wrap up. So DBE category 322220, adhesive tape and glues. 323111, decals and labels. 325520, adhesive manufacturing. 325611, soap and other detergent manufacturing. 326150, foam. 326192, transit vinyl vehicle flooring. 326199, all other plastics product manufacturing. 326290, weather strip. 331312, primary aluminum production. 332312, metal and aluminum extrusions and ducting. 332321, doors and door controls. 332322, metal fabrication. 332510, hardware manufacturing. 332722, nuts and bolts. 332996, bending metal pipes. 333415, air conditioning equipment. 336120, bus chassis including battery and brakes and windows. 336321, lighting. 336360, vehicle seats, formed plastic vehicle walls and seat belts. 336399, all other motor vehicle parts manufacturing. 337212, interior linings. 339113, vehicle lifts and ramps, wheelchair safety tie-downs. 339999, fire protection. 423310, plywood merchant wholesalers. 423450, industrial safety devices. 423690, electrical and electronic devices, wire and cable, glues and merchant wholesalers. 424690, other chemical and applied products. 424950, paint, varnish, and supplies. 484121, transportation, and lastly 811122, window tinting. So if your company serves any of those categories, please reach out. Please reach out. And who do you reach out to? Reach out to Ken Richards, who is our DBE liaison officer. Phone number 216-930-6598, or email ken.richards@driverge.com. That's ken.richards@driverge.com. So that's it. That wraps this up. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to Ken Richards. It's been a pleasure going through this, and we know there's a lot of great opportunities for companies out there, for the DB certified companies, minority owned and women owned suppliers. So thank you for listening. Have an amazing day.